Okay, here we go. This is phase 5. Going to be taking out some large trees this time, so stay tuned for that. Here's the view out the side, which is going to be the front of the house is going to be towards. Here we are before we started today, or phase 5. First I gotta clean up this mess that I left from last time. All these little trees that I took down. I get quite a pile here. We'll take care of that pile after I take down 3 or 4 trees. That's a pretty good sized pile. What do you think? Here goes number 1. And down she goes. Just missed the outhouse. Goes number 2. Need some wedges on this one, just didn't want to go. There she goes. And luckily that missed the outhouse too. So one more try here. You look close, you actually see another tree go with it. So that was 2 for the price of 1. There she goes. Catches that other tree and down they go. Now we have cleanup duty. So cutting all this stuff for firewood, be used for next winter for the shed there. That 4th tree that went down went on the chip and shred pile, or most of it did. Figured it out by now. I'm up there by myself. The wife didn't come up with me this time, so I'm doing all this by myself. I do like these flowers. Now, loading it all up on the mule. Well, at least I put most of it on the mule this time. I had to make a couple trips. And for these being dead for so long, you'd think it'd be lighter, but these are all oaks, so you can watch that mule kind of sink down as we get loaded it out. Luckily I have that power lift to dump it. The second load isn't that big, but there's the pile. Go to my little wood shed. This is just wood for the shed itself. I took out that first plastic pallet there because I thought it was easier climbing through the rock there, which kind of levels it out, than to actually step on that plastic pallet to load this in the back. Now, we get the tractor back out there and put the grapple back on. Had the bucket on before. Have an auxiliary hydraulic cylinder or hydraulic lines put on after I bought it, so I can actually run something out the front or out the back. There's the grapple. I got that from Everything Attachments. It's kind of heavy, but it does the job. Now this first part I'm running it real time because when I tried to speed it up it was like, oh, cannot do that, it's going to make people sick. This is going to be that much better, but it's better than a fast jerking around and everything because it's not very smooth to ride on a tractor. I left some of these logs long just in case I get a wood mill to saw them up for lumber. I can always saw them into firewood later. There's that pile of rock on the right, which the log actually clipped, but you can tell that I got a lot of rock in there. I'm just going to make a pile of logs in here. Eventually I'm going to have to clear that area out too, all the way back to the border, which is another maybe 20 feet past that log. Just go down through. So, about to change it here, so faster. Logs don't want to go sometimes when they want to go. So this is much easier to do it that way than to cut it off with firewood and then move the firewood. So here we go with the chipper shredder on the back, and we're going to chip and shred all this stuff that's in a pile. And I got the tractor set out in the driveway a bit so that I can chip and shred off the side of the driveway. And I'll show you the pile at the end of this chip and shred. If you were to look real close or slow it way down, I'll chip out big branches or a bunch of small branches until the tops are basically there at the end. And it's all little twigs, and I'll put that in the top where it shreds it. So it may look like I'm sticking an arm down there. I'm not sticking an arm down in my chipper. It's just to the tops, and then I pull that back out, and I got another 1.5 feet before my hand would even touch the chip blade. There's the pile. And now I'm going back in and cutting a bunch more little trees again. Getting ready for the next round of bigger trees. Now the cleanup. Putting them back in the same spot so I can chip back in that same spot again and make just one big pile. If you saw my other chip and shred video, you would see that I made a couple of huge piles of chip and shred. Here we go with the next trees. And this one, I actually, set of trees, there was 3 trees no, 2 trees that I took down. This one needed a lot of persuasion with the wedges. But if you saw the other chip and shred, I'll go back to that. I made big piles. I was actually working with 2 other people on their stuff, and they were helping me feed chip and shred through it, so it went a lot faster and we did a lot more. That's why I made bigger piles. And they had a lot of stuff they cleared out from their area. And there she goes. And we'll give you some more views of that. Got the drone up in the air this time. Hit the record button, and there's a little bit of wind, so you might see that move a bit. And boom. If it was a little bit taller, it might have hit the outhouse. Here we go on the other one. Now this one was a live one. That first one of this set was dead. This one's live. It's got some buds still on it. There she goes. I'm going to try this again. It's 2 different views. And there she goes. Just off the side of the outhouse. Now I gotta clean it up. A lot of this stuff goes on the pile for chipping and shredding. Here we are at the end. And you can see how much has been cleared out. Actually compare the two, the front to the end. There's where we took out most of the trees. Looks a lot different than it used to now. Because we had some dead trees in there. Trying to get them out, get a lot of these out before they start leafing out. Subscribe if you can, and oh, there's a little extra bonus. This is sunrise down in the valley.